What is up with the family, yo? I honestly forgot how vibey that intro is, my G. That
That
thing
intro
Yo,
is
is
knocking.
I made a whole freestyle.
big facts, though. Big facts.
I was in here going
What
off like, oh,
is
they can't hear me.
exactly? What's up, everyone? How are y'all doing, yo? It's what is today? It's technically the third. But for us, it's basically the second because we ain't went to sleep. It's midnight. Welcome to the PontiSat Podcast. This is where us three brothers come together to discuss life and basically just pontificate on the deeper meaning behind a lot of different topics. So make sure you join our discussion. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow all of our social medias and all that good stuff because, yeah, let's do it. Um, let us know how you doing for show. It's been a minute since we've been live, so this is episode 3. But everybody been living, growing, doing all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all vibing with us because we definitely gonna be vibing in here. Oh my bad. There that music goes slapping.
Big knocking.
Um, today has been. I think everybody had a pretty good day today. I think that's safe to say. Am I right? Can we
Yes,
all
sir.
agree on that? It was a decent day.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, I had a good day today. It was kind of a long day, but not really a long day at the same time. It was one of those days, it's just kind of chilling, vibing, getting some work done, putting some stuff together. Actually, I straightened up my room today. My office been fucking wild for like 3 months now. Like I've been doing like the baby cleanup, you know what I mean? But I ain't gave it like the real like pick up everything, make sure ain't nothing on the floors and all that extra shit. So that's what I did today. Picked up all my stuff, rearranged some shit. Got my music shit back up, trying to fuck with that. Got my beats and my bass all set up and whatnot. My subwoofer. Uh, back had all that set back up because I had actually took all of my shit, like basically everything that I used to make music was just down at the time. So I was basically today I was just putting everything back up, was fucking with different shit, listening to shit. It was cool. It was cool. It was cool. How was your day, Vito?
Man, I started picking up my room, my little area right here, but nigga got tired and ended up falling asleep, taking that little nappy nap. And when I got up, I was like, man, I probably should finish cleaning this bitch, but I hopped on the game instead.
I feel it. I feel
I
it.
was trying to fix my shit so I could keep making content, man.
Mm,
We got that League of Vanity stuff coming up. You know what I mean? So definitely
big
trying to
fact.
get as many content clips and things and finish up this last little bit of Cold War as much as possible. So we could get this recruitment stuff going, and you know what I mean? Really just I
Yeah.
vibed on that today and fixed my shit low key, I think. Um just gotta manually constantly switch shit whenever I team up with people. So but other than that, man, I mean, it was cool. You know what I mean? A little hiccup here and there. Negative energy try to get you, but you can't let it get you, man. You just can't let it get you, man. You gotta push through that shit sometimes, and just keep it moving. So that way you don't let it affect how you feel for the rest of the day or night or however long you're gonna be up afterwards. So it is what it is, but it was pretty vibey today. I'm not gonna lie. You know how I do on the weekends. I try to stay in the room, stay locked in my cave.
I feel that.
Wait for somebody to come slay the dragon if they want.
Big facts.
Mhm. Ooh.
Oh my god! I just realized what you meant. That's
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
all right. Renato, how you doing, bro? How was your day, my G?
I'm good, man. My day was good. I was up with my brothers last night till like 4, so I didn't wake up till like 12.
Yeah, we was up pretty late last night.
We was up a little late.
once I got up, I cleaned the house, and then I had to go like pay some bills and stuff. And then when I got back in the house, I started vibing, started saging, threw on some incense, started making music, and it was over, yo. I got lost in time. It was vibey for me once I got back to the house.
Oh yeah! I love to hear it. I love when it's all vibing like that. I'm happy everyone had like a viberific day.
Does it get you all in your gibblies?
It does get me in my giblies. But I've been in my giblies. Today's been a ghibli day.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's been a ghibli tender day. You feel me?
Ooh, ghibli tender.
Ghibli tender.
Tinderooskies, huh?
Yes, sir. The tenderonis.
Oh, the tenderonis.
No baloney is tenderoni.
Ooh.
All right.
I know balonies.
So now that we got all the formalities out of the way, yo, I know we've been blowing up our PontiSat podcast chat with stuff for a little while now, but I'm not sure how many things we actually have in there.
Been blowing it up.
I don't know. I'm not even sure what's the oldest thing that. When was the last time we have done this thing that we're doing right here? Let's see. 2 months ago. Oh no, but that was the clip though. That was the actual live. Yeah, the actual live is that's 2 months ago as well. All right, for sure. So
I think it was started with the Lil Nas X Jack Harlow Industry Baby video.
Oh yeah.
And we went to Dimension 20 on TikTok, and then
I still haven't seen the Lil Nas X Jack Harlow.
I haven't seen that either.
I don't think none of us have seen that.
Yeah,
I know we did watch
we
did watch the Vibrations interview with Shahrazad Ali. That was when, and we did watch the one with the activists. And then let's see, we got stuff from last month. With the, I don't know what that is. Renato sent it.
There's been a lot of stuff,
and we just blew up the chat from just talking.
Yeah, there's just been a lot of stuff going down, yo.
We got this raw hit Tigger from last month from you on my birthday. Now we got some more recent stuff from just a couple weeks ago.
Immunity shuts down.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys want to save that Jack Harlow stuff for later. So I think we should.
We should. I don't even know if I want to watch that. I'm gonna keep it so honest, bro. I'm just gonna keep it lit. I'm in the Grand Rising chat looking at different. Like, I'm gonna just scroll down a little bit and see the different things that's being put in the Grand Rising chat.
Zay the historian, kicker of elves, One Cheek Wonder. What the hell that was? Cool Hand Gene.
What was that? One Cheek
Kush
Wonder.
Day.
All right, here we go. This is something that I think this is a good
start.
Yeah. And we've actually talked about this before, but I just think this is like I said, just a good starting point. Get the conversation flowing and going.
Ooh, flowing and going.
So it's a tweet It says, my dad said, often trauma keeps us at the age we experienced it. A lot of people are exactly the age their hurt came from. And I feel like we've talked about stuff like that before. You know what I mean? In our last PontiSats that we've done. This is something that's been like uh,
A
a,
recurring
a,
theme.
yeah, a reoccurring theme of the generational type of trauma or whatever, and how whatever age that happens to you at, you kind of get stuck in that mindset. So for some people who might be stuck in this in the that age where they experience the trauma, I want to ask you guys, what would you suggest to get them that rut of the trauma? That out of that trauma loop, I guess you could say, because trauma makes more trauma, and then that makes more trauma, so on and so forth. So, what would you guys? What would your advice be to someone that is in a trauma loop? Vito.
Okay. So with my past experiences of being in or having traumatizing situations, the best thing for me was definitely to go see a therapist. I'm not gonna lie. I know people don't like to do that type of shit. I know a lot of people that be like, I'm not about to go see no shrink and I'm not crazy and this, that, and the other. Even if you don't go see a shrink, I hate to call them that. Even if you don't go see a therapist, or somebody that you feel like you can get comfortable with, you know what I mean? Talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Just talk to somebody, man. I think I expressed this to y'all last week when I got at NATO. Um, no matter what it is, I understand there's some things that you can't talk about with certain people, especially a therapist, because they mandated reporters and this, that, and the other. But you gotta voice what you've been through and able to kind of get over and close that chapter of your life.
Yeah,
Uh,
facts.
you know what I mean? Like you got to be able to talk about it. You can't just hold it in. People think they could just hold it in, things like that. And I know I'm supposed to be kind of giving advice here, but uh, I don't really see any other route other than voicing the things that have occurred to you,
So
to
your
you.
advice is to not run away from the trauma, to embrace it, basically, right?
I mean, yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Like to
I guess you could
confront
say
the
that.
trauma, not embrace it, but to confront it,
To
like
confront it.
acknowledge,
Yeah, yeah,
acknowledge and
yeah.
confront
Right,
the trauma
right,
that's been
right,
done,
right.
instead of trying to sweep it under the proverbial rug, so to speak.
Correct, correct, correct. So yeah,
Um,
I mean, you know, just to be able to talk to somebody, even if they are acting as if they understand or not acting, either way, it helps for you to
yeah,
be able to get over that hump.
that's true. Renato, what is some advice that you would give someone that's caught in the trauma loop?
I would like to. I would basically say, like, piggybacking off of what DeVito said, definitely talk to somebody, because some things some things become like too difficult for us to handle on our own. So talking to somebody and getting somebody else wisdom about the situation, and sometimes just talking to somebody would just straight just help you out, get past the point that you feel like you couldn't get past before, but you couldn't get past it because you wasn't talking about it to nobody. So that right there, or somebody might just say one word or one sentence that's super simple, but it's because it's a whole nother person. That's what you needed to hear. That what I mean. You might just need to hear a person say, "Baby, that wasn't your fault,"
Big facts.
and then and now that your loop is gone. You know what I mean? Because you can't tell yourself, "Baby, it's not your fault."
Yeah,
You're gonna need
you
somebody
can
else that you
try to,
trust.
but
Yeah, you can try to,
in
but it ain't
the
gonna be
end,
like
you
that
gonna
person you
need.
trust tell you. Yeah,
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
and
Mm.
to just capitalize on what both of you guys have brought to the table, I feel like the thing is, we need to not only do, because okay, a lot of the times people are voicing the trauma that occurs to them, but there is no reaction from that. It gets, like we said, it gets swept under. They, like, someone sweeps it under. So I feel like in those situations, it's so important to call out the sweepers, so to speak, as well. You know what I mean? Like, man, there was a wonderful TikTok that I wish I could find. I would have to literally look for it because it's an old one. But the dude had a very good point as to what it is that stuff like that comes from, and he basically put it into the whole that's where not snitching started. Was you It's not snitching because you're not telling on your family member, and then that just grew and grew into what we see today in the streets. But it started from, that's like a thing that started from trauma, from people telling people, like that's one of the biggest black like things in the black family is to keep our business in the family. Don't go around telling the family business to everybody. You know what I'm saying? So there are walls and perimeters that are set by generations behind us that we basically just keep repeating without even knowing what they're there for. The thing that I like to use is like basically how like the Nortes and Sureños started. You feel me? Like them niggas started way long ago. Oh, and it was like some farmers. You feel me? Like it wasn't even on no super gang shit that it is now. They was farmers. But that's just how it goes all the way to right now. It's like, nah, bro, we still not good with them. That's how it is. That's how it's always been. You know what I mean? It'd be like, man, now we don't even know what it is. We're just soldiers for this cause. Like, and now everything is just lost. And now niggas are just fighting blind. Same for every other gang, basically. Everything is started for all these different reasons, and then those reasons ended up fading away under the rug, and now everybody is just fighting for this new cause. And that's where we're at right now with the family. Is we are like with families in general. Everyone is just fighting for the cause of trying to keep that thing established. That's not, it's like, bro, what is this, honestly? What are we trying to keep established? What empire are we trying to save in all reality?
Yeah.
So I feel that, and that trauma loop is something that you definitely can't be playing with.
Yeah, so that just leads back to
get. Oh, go ahead.
what you were saying was just that just leads back to what I was saying about why we make certain choices in life. You know what I mean? And it's just because of the things that we experience. And so
Yeah.
it's better to talk to somebody about it rather than just let it be. Instead of just saying it is what it is, like in a traumatizing situation.
Yeah.
It is what
and
it
I know,
is.
like,
Doesn't count for a traumatizing situation.
Exactly.
To piggyback on what Fanita was saying, how a lot of these things started and we don't know why they started. I feel like that's a big thing for the families too, because as a community, we're so loving. And as a community, we've always been attacked by everybody. So if like somebody in your family did some crazy or wild stuff, it'd be like, yeah, they tripping, but that's family. When it should be like, nigga, you're exported, my nigga. You did some stuff with your daughter, or you did some stuff to a kid, or I'm saying you did some crazy, you killed some person for a dumb reason.
You're excommunicated.
Yeah, it's like you're excommunicated, bro. It don't matter that you family, but we so wounded. It's like, bro, we all we got. Even if that motherfucker's weird as hell, he blood. He got to be over here. And it's like, nah, I don't know about all that stuff.
And that goes back to that trauma loop of everything is just so.
And when you sweep it under the rug like that, that just allows them to keep doing more bad shit to people. And it's just, you can't. Yeah. You got to be that guy.
Finessing other people's minds.
Yes,
sometimes we
that's the thing. It's the mind finesse. It's not even knowing that you're doing it though. What how do we break that? How do we break someone out of that? How do you tell somebody that they're doing that? That there's no other reaction but instantly getting in hyper defense mode. You know what I mean?
You know
For
what I've
them, that is.
what I've realized is talking to them about it. It allows them to
Mm,
slowly make the adjustment. It may not be like as fast as we see it should be, but they
mm,
do slowly make the adjustment in making the changes of saying like, okay, yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? I'm glad I got to talk to you about it, or I'm glad you did say something to me because now I can slowly make the adjustment myself to not continue to be in the loop or to continue to
yeah.
allow somebody to keep doing something to me, or things like that. Because uh, let's just talk about like abusive relationships.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? People get with these people and they say they get with them and they've been with them for 10 years, and 10 years, or let's say 5 years was good years. The first 5 years was cool. You know what I mean? They was doing their little thing. They was dating, going and doing fun stuff. And then all of a sudden, you know they get comfortable with each other, more comfortable with each other, because they forgot to actually get to know who each other were on another level. You know what I mean? So now, you know, into this 5 years, this guy or this girl, or however it's going, starts beating on you. You know what I mean? And then they're manipulating your mind like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I love you, things like that. So then when you when that happens, then you're like, well, man, I loved him too, and maybe it was just maybe he didn't mean it, or maybe she didn't mean it, and then it just continues to go in that direction for like another year or so. You know what I'm saying? And then they get comfortable with that in their mind, and then that person just constantly finds another way to keep finessing and uh doing what they're doing to that person, so that way they don't know how to get out of it. You know what I mean? And we see a lot of stories like that all the time, all over the internet, of, oh, my spouse was beating me for this and that and that and this. And, I didn't know it was wrong until somebody actually talked to me about it and said something
Yeah.
about it. And now they try to get help, and things like that. That's being stuck in a trauma loop, in itself.
Yeah.
And sometimes being stuck in that trauma loop can take 2 days, a day, maybe even a couple hours, and sometimes it could take 7, 8, 20 years even.
Mhm.
And because I've seen old people old people that have been together for 30, 40 years, they be like, oh, I'm 70 years old, I gotta get up out of her. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
I gotta go live my life because this motherfucker didn't have me trapped in the house. I thought it was okay. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it
Yeah,
really
man. And there's so many forms of abuse and that's
exactly.
why people, I think that's what makes the finesse so easy, is
Mhm.
because, like, I mean, even someone saying that they depressed and then someone telling them, no, you're not depressed, like that's pretty much a mental abuse right there, yo,
It
because
is.
Mhm.
you're trying to manipulate a person's feeling and tell them, like, I'm not depressed. Like, you don't know, because people can be depressed about anything and nothing. Like, depression is not something that is just uh automatically put towards one thing. It manifests itself in multiple ways because that's just what it is. Like, it spreads. And then if you
Mhm.
don't try to treat it, if you don't try to figure out what it is, if you don't try to figure out what the actual reason for that is, because everyone, like, then that's when you start trying to go back in your life and that's when a lot of people have these midlife crises, trying to figure out,
Mhm.
man, who is this, who am I, let me go back to do the things that I did when I was a kid that made me happy. Okay, well, that's not making me happy like it did when I was a kid. Oh, yeah, that's right, because I only did that when I was a kid to cope with the trauma that I was going through. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
Mhm.
I actually didn't like that. I only did it because I was coping with my trauma. Like, so Now, if I go back to that thinking like you can't, you'll get in that loop again, and then now you're gonna be depressed because you can't get out of the loop because no, bro, just do new things, spread your wings. You feel me? Like take these broken wings and learn to
And
fly
fly
again,
in.
learn to live so free.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like it's real, yo. It's real because once you because it's so easy to get your wings tattered. Like your wings, especially when you first grow them, they're so fragile. They can get
Mhm,
broken real easy. And the people
mhm.
that don't have wings, they mad as hell that you got wings, especially if you got them before they did. Now they trying to do everything they can to clip your wings,
To
yo,
break them
so
motherfuckers
you
off.
can't fucking fly. Like so
Mhm,
if you fly, they gonna have to look up at you, and they don't want that. They don't want that, bro.
mhm,
So that goes back to what we always say, and that's protecting your light, protecting yourself, protecting your spiritual, protect your mental, protect your physical from all forms of negativity and all forms of abuse. Like there's no other way
mhm,
to say it because everything is always trying to attack us. So it's always good to have people, a support system like we have right here for each other.
mhm,
Um, like things that we won't discuss on live for our own personal reasons, we will discuss with each other still, no matter what. Like, you know what I mean? Like
mhm,
we all know that we can count and depend on one another to be there in our tough times. And we've all, had our moments of going off on each other to tell each other that, like, nigga, I'm
mhm,
here for you. We've all told each other that in our own ways
Yep,
of like, bro, I'm here for you. Like, and sometimes it does
sure.
take that aggressiveness for somebody, for
mhm,
people, because like for a lot of us, we don't even know like what it means for someone to really be in our corner because no one was ever really in our corner. They was just in our corner while we was in their corner, so to speak. You know
mhm,
what I mean? So when you get with people that are always in your corner, no matter what it is, and always trying to help you out, trying to better you, while they're bettering themselves, you can't fail, especially when people are holding themselves accountable, man. Accountability is the biggest thing that people don't want to do, and why I feel like trauma gets swept so easily is because there's no accountability for anything. And
I definitely agree with that, man. Just from accountability for self, and then also
Mhm.
the people that's around you taking accountability for their self and accountability for what they did. It just never really happens that much often. It just don't happen often. Let me say it don't happen
Yeah.
often, and that be the problem with a y'all. I know for sure with a lot of like these young people. I be talking to a lot of like early 20-year-olds, and that be
Hmm.
their problem. Like they be having a problem keeping themselves accountable, but they're way more open than like their mom and dad and uncles and people that's
Hmm.
around them that they're still looking up to. And people always forget just because somebody's 21, 22, 23 don't mean and they're a young adult now, that don't mean that they're stopped looking up to you.
Yeah.
So now it's like they still looking at you and it's like, damn. So now they kind of doing what you doing because they're like, well, I guess it's cool. And then you over here doing what you doing, but you like, well, I don't have no little kid looking up to me now. Let me wild out. And it's like, bruh, it don't matter if
Yeah.
anybody's looking to you. You shouldn't want to be wilding out. You know what I'm saying? If you was just
Facts.
waiting for nobody to be around you to wild out, you got some stuff to deal with there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
For real. That's definitely crazy. And
It's crazy.
it's definitely pointless. Like to not be accountable is pointless because accountability comes at some point regardless. So it's
Yep.
like, it's just what it is. Uh but I feel like all of those points that everyone like brought to the table right now are very intricate pieces to the puzzle, you know?
mhm.
Yep.
And
I
that's another
agree.
thing too that a lot of people don't understand is sometimes you hold a piece and they hold a piece. And
Yeah.
sometimes you got to put those pieces together to understand exactly what is being discussed. And I see that's how a lot of arguments turn out. You know what I mean? It's, oh, my piece is right, your piece is wrong. What?
Yeah.
It's just two
But it's
different
just
pieces. That's
pieces. It's
it.
just two different
Ain't no right
pieces.
and wrong.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Shit, let's try to put these motherfuckers together and see what we get. You know what I
So we
mean?
gotta get facts, get something new.
Why are we
We might
both
get it.
arguing over 5 instead of making 10 out of it? My 5 better than your 5. No, nigga. Nigga, our 5s, nigga, make 10.
Yes, sir.
But that's something that we always bring up too when we're talking about how, you know, part of the finesse is like people can't agree on nothing. But that's
Yeah.
like that's part of the mental game and the spiritual game that they playing with us. We can't agree on nothing, even simple things. And if you can't believe start to get the simple things, how you gonna agree on the big things?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't even agree that, okay, nigga, I got a shirt on, you got a shirt on. My shirt ain't better than your shirt. This is just my shirt that I like, and that's your shirt you like, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And people be like, nah, nigga, my shirt is wool, cotton, and some other mix, and I can run it in it and I won't sweat. Your shirt sucks. Like, whoa, what? Jeez.
Facts. Um, Another thing that I see, that I just saw, not just saw, but that I came across in the ground rising group that I really liked was this one. Lately, I've been replacing my "Why is this happening to me?" to "What is this trying to teach me?" and everything around me changed.
Hmm.
That's powerful right there, yo. That's
Let me
the
let
go
me
ahead,
touch
brother.
that first, Fanita. That right there changed my life when I was like 17 or 18. That
Mm,
changed my whole life. It led me to be able to change my thinking, and it led me to be able to start doing things that I end up backtracking on. But it definitely led me to being able to start doing things that I would probably never do, and that I told myself I would never do, like get a regular job and stuff. Like that. That right there changed everything to where I'm a young kid, but because of that thinking, I just was like, bro, what? Like I'm not. Can't nobody get me mad. What is the point of me getting sad? Like I could just that right there is so powerful. And then to try to get other people to see life that way is way more harder than I would think. But it
mm,
is.
facts. But one of the reasons why it's so hard is because it's it's easy to say why is this happening to me? Because when you when you have to be taught something, it means that you have to admit that you don't know what's going on. And people don't want to admit that they don't know what's going on. They just want to be they it's just like, oh, it's always something. It's always gonna fucking you know what I mean? Like that ends
Yeah.
up being what that is. But instead it's like, okay, what is the lesson that's coming from these events that are occurring that can better what I'm doing right now? Like, how why is it that this event happened that I'm perceiving it as negative? Why is it a negative event, really, though? Like, what is it that I could have done to avoid this negative event that occurred? Could I have done anything, or was it completely out of my hands? If it's completely out of my hands, then why am I even angry about it? If it's not out of my hands, then I need to figure out what it is that I did wrong so I can move differently the next time I get into the situation. People don't want to analyze themselves and fess up and once again be accountable for what they fucked up. Like, oh no, you know what? I did fuck up right there. That's my bad. No, 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 that's unheard of. Everybody just has to argue their point down and be like, no, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. This is this, this is this, this is this, this is this, this is this. But it's like, yo, in the end, it's like what's actually occurring and what is it that I'm saying happened? What is it that you're saying happened? What happened?
Mhm.
Once again, we got to put these two sides together and find out what happened. Because if I feel like something happened to me and I feel like you fucked me over, but you really didn't fuck me over, then how will we know that until I try to hold you accountable for for what's going on with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey yo, this is how I feel. This is what you did to me. I feel. It's like, okay, bro. Well, this is what this is actually what happened. And it's like, yo, you can either think I'm lying or you can take it as truth, and we can keep having a discussion until we get to the bottom of what's really happening. And then once again, it's like, okay, so what did I do in that situation though to make it even seem like what did I hear that made me take it the wrong way to make me feel like he was getting at me? Like all of this shit is you gotta just take the time to take the time. That's one thing that people don't want to do. They don't want to, they don't want to learn the lessons. They just want to do what they do, and it's not. And sometimes especially when you're dealing with other people, you got to figure out what they doing too, so you're not doing nothing to them, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's you think you going about your day. I mean, look at most of the villains that are created. They're created because everyone is so consumed by what's going on with their life that they don't get any of the attention, or they don't get looked upon, or they don't get anything that they not that they believe that they deserve, but things that they actually desire, things that they require, the social need, I guess you can say, for some type of acceptance or some type of shoulder to talk to, cry on. The lack of that is what creates a lot of the things that we see going on right now. Like, so when someone is faced with trying to transition from why is this happening to me to what is this trying to teach me, what do you think you would get? Like, what would you tell them? Like if someone's like, yo man, how, like, if this is something you're trying to tell somebody, like, how would you go about trying to change their perception, I guess the best way to say it, from the why is this to what is this?
Uh, I would, me personally, I would probably make it a little more like, I guess you would say like a little kind of aggressive. I guess I would be like, yo, don't be so down, and like morose about life. Like, why is this happening to me? You know what I mean? Be more on the positive side, which means like what can I, what can I learn from this situation? What did I do? Because being morose and negative never helped anybody ever, and it hasn't helped you personally. Whoever I'm talking to, like, has it? You know what I mean? And let them answer that question. Like, has being sad and morose helped you at all ever? No. So change it then. If that's not working, how about trying being positive and try it and see if it works?
Do we have any viewers in here? Maybe we could get a comment or something from one of them and see how maybe they would kind of, or what their view is on it. You know what I mean? If you guys got a certain view on this topic right here, maybe see if y'all could just kind of drop a comment, drop some knowledge. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So we could read that back too. You know what I mean, and kind of see where other people are at in this topic, because I know this is touching on more than just one person, man. This is touching on the world right now. I mean, that's big facts that is touching on the world right
Big
now.
facts.
Because look at the way that things are going and happening. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to drop a comment in there and just let us know. You know what I'm saying? How y'all feel about this topic?
How do you feel about this topic, my brother?
I mean, my view of it is similar to y'all's. You know what I mean? It's just again, it turns back into it always turns to, you got to be able to talk about the shit that goes on. You know what I'm saying? It just, you got to have conversation about it, because if you don't, it's just going to eat away at you and not allow you to grow. And I think this is one of those topics that, you got to talk, you got to be able to talk things out and actually figure out, like you said, you got to put the pieces together of, when this occurred, what was going on, what was I doing, what did I do, self-reflect on where you could take accountability in the situation, because maybe 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 it's not trying to teach you anything. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just telling you to wake the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we get caught in not being self-aware of our actions or what we are doing to cause certain shit to go on. Sometimes people just be going they call it autopilot. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Some people just be going, and they not realizing the shit that they saying or they doing. And then when you confront them on it, they be like, "Oh, that's not what I said." And it's like, "What? That is what you said. What do you mean? That's not what you said. That's exactly what you just said." Well, I didn't mean it like that. Okay, so
Exactly.
now we getting somewhere because say what you
Exactly.
mean and mean what you say, motherfucker. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
fact.
Yes,
And
sir.
I know a lot of people tend to forget who they're speaking to sometimes because they get comfortable or they get a little laxed, you know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, now, me and you, we're on we on this level, now we could talk. And now when we talking, it's like, you know, I may not say fuck you bitch to you all the time, and now I feel like I could say it. You know what I'm saying? Because we on that, I feel like I'm on that level with you, and then that other person may not feel like they on that level with you though. You know what I'm saying? So now you like, oh, what did I do? What did I do? Like,
Yeah.
bro, what do you mean? What did you just do? You just said fuck you bitch to me, and that's not how we get down. Like we don't. That's
Yep.
not how we converse. Oh, I thought it was. How? You ain't never
Yeah.
said it to me before. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now, it just turns into
Everyone having their
being,
own levels of comfortability. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
and
Everyone
then there we go,
and then
with,
you just gotta
the
have them
tennis,
discussions, you know.
the tennis effect. You know what I'm saying? That's what I always call it, the tennis effect. It's just constant back and forth until, you just get tired and you give up. You know what I mean? And you can't give up. That's the problem. Like that's the main thing that people don't understand about life is you're the choice that you make and say, "Oh, I give up on this." Like, do you not understand that just because you gave up on it this time, like that doesn't mean that it ain't gonna come back around later.
Yeah.
You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? It's gonna come back in a whole different situation. It's gonna come back to you, no matter if you want it to or not. I mean, that's the thing about life is we got to deal with a lot of repetitious shit in this world, and people tend to always try to put different spins on it. Like it it's still the same shit though. That's where they get the term history repeats itself from. That's why we get that term because yeah, technically the shit that we experience is the same shit that people experienced 50 years ago. You know what I'm saying? How do you know? How do you know it's not something that somebody experienced 50 years ago? You don't know that because you can't tell them that. You know what I mean? You can't go up to somebody that's fucking 60 and say, "Oh, you ain't never experienced this the way I experienced this." How do you know? I understand people experience things differently, but their experience was probably similar, and they probably even handled it similar to the way that you handled it. So it's like you can't tell somebody how they're gonna deal with something when you don't even know how you're doing it. And again, a lot of people don't want to reflect on that, or on that self growth, or kind of, think to themselves like, "Hey, maybe I just need to change my tone because maybe my tone might not be right for today, or maybe something I'm saying like today I kind of felt like, with certain situations I felt like I was repeating myself, and then I started getting frustrated because it's like, bro, I just said that I just did this and I just did, and then I'm like in the middle of something else, and then I'm jumbling around a whole bunch of shit. But then I had to really like take the time out to myself and be like, okay, look, maybe you're not explaining the situation appropriately for them to understand it. So before you start getting all upset and jumping on them and being like, "Look, bro, I already said this," or and I did that today. Like I jumped the gun and was like, "Bruh," and just like I blew up low key, and you can't always do that because not everybody is on that same intellectual level as you are all the time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it takes them a little bit of time to shift gears, or maybe you just ain't saying what you're trying to say in the right way that they can understand it, and that
And
causes
that
the
goes back to the thing that we were kind of saying earlier about learning to actually being able to articulate yourself correctly so
that is
people can
correct.
actually understand
Mhm.
what you're saying.
That is
Yeah.
Because a lot
correct.
of times we get comfortable with speaking our own language that we've created so we don't have to understand what the actual thing is. So we create our
Uh-huh.
own language of communication and we just expect everyone else to kind of understand our own language that we've created so we can get by easily without having to properly articulate ourselves,
Hmm.
because in order to
Mhm.
properly articulate ourselves we'd have to learn something new. So then we're like, nah, and instead of doing that we're going to create a whole new language, so to speak, or a whole new way to have a conversation. And then you can't, once that happens, that's when we start creating a barriers, our own, we start creating barriers in between communication with other people, because we're deciding that we are doing it this way instead of doing it that way. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you just, there's not going to be a equal level of communication with whoever you're talking to, because
It's
you're
like you
speaking your own language.
it's like you said,
Mhm.
it's like you said before in one of our other punny sets, and it was in a podcast. So it's like you
Mhm.
said in that podcast, you gotta have that common ground.
Facts.
And this
Yeah.
this this quote up here, on this quote, you have to have common ground with yourself to
Hmm.
understand what this
Mhm.
quote even means.
Yep.
Because I know that you'll see this quote, and some people will take it how I took it, some people will take it how Renato took it, and some people will take it how you took it. You feel me? So it you have to understand who you are as a person to really understand this quote. And
Hmm.
that is
Mhm.
the main thing that I could say about this quote, because I've tried to do this. I've tried to do this numerous times over and over again, and it became repetitive to me. Like, okay, but then I started to realize that the more repetitive it got, the more repetitive the same situation was also. Because you can also use this quote to find that loophole and be like, oh yeah, oh yeah, that shit was trying to teach me something, so I'm gonna take it for what it is. No, sometimes it ain't that. Sometimes it ain't that. Sometimes it's like, bro, wake up, my guy. Wake up. You sleeping. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But I definitely could see Renato's point of it, and I could see your point of it. And that's what, again, we got to take those pieces and we got to put them together and be like, okay, you know what, this is what we can actually make out of this, out of all these pieces, and put together. Because now, since I got your opinion on it and I got Renato's opinion on it, now I can stop looking at myself like, oh, I'm in a loop, bruh. What do I do to get out of it? But I'm not. It's just you gotta deal with what comes at you. You gotta deal with it, and if you deal with it negatively, you're gonna get a negative response. And if you deal with it, if you find that balance between negative and positive on how to deal with it, then more power. You know what I'm saying? That's great that you found that equal ground to be able to deal with it, because now you can move forward on whatever it is that you're trying to move forward with.
I think the biggest thing with this quote that I hope doesn't get misconstrued is that this can go both ways, because, and that's one of the, like, just to give a little bit of definition to what you were saying, like creating that common ground with yourself is realizing which part of the loop you are in, whether
Hmm.
you're in the why is this
Mhm.
happening to me loop, or what is this
What is
trying
this
to
trying to
teach me
teach
loop,
me?
because both of those are loops that you can get stuck in. So
Hmm.
you got to be able
Mhm.
to, once again, use both sides of the coin to solve the problem. Like, look at both sides of the equation every time something happens. Why is this happening to me? What is this trying to teach me? Is this, and then you answer those questions. You don't just keep getting stuck at why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? No,
Or what is this
there is
trying
an
to teach me?
answer
Yeah.
to every single question. So you
Hmm.
have to focus
Mhm.
on what the answer is, because
Hmm.
that's what is important. The questions don't matter. It's the answers to the
Answers
questions
that
that are the
matter.
keys. Like
Exactly.
that's what the key is.
Exactly.
So
Because
why is this happening to me? It's happening to me because I didn't get up and go do this, or I didn't get up and go do that. What is this trying to teach me? It's teaching me that if I don't get up and go do it, it's not gonna happen. It's both things. There's an answer to both questions.
because
And both of those answers make a sentence, and that's how you move on.
Exactly. And that's what I was just getting ready to say. The reason why the questions don't matter is because there's always a question for every answer, and there's always an answer for every question. So sometimes you just got to figure out, hey, all right, this is the one I'm going with. All right, red button.
Boop.
Yeah, Alex, I'd like to get what is life about for 200?
Yes, sir.
Big facts. Big facts. It's just focus on getting those answers. Don't focus on once you start focusing on the questions, sheesh, it just becomes a never ending
story.
loop. It's just a never ending loop of questions. So make sure everybody is out here, doing that stuff. So on to our next one. Not finger guns, yo. I really like this one as well.
Hey, what did Kevin Hart do?
Gotcha.
Yo, okay, so this one is start hanging out with people who fit your future, not your past. So this is another one.
I'll fuck with that.
Yeah, see, this is another one that I think a lot of people should hear and see, because once you start becoming your actual self, and then just to circle back to what we were saying earlier too, and realizing that the shit that you did when you were a kid, you only did it because it was fun. It wasn't not fun, but it got you through your trauma. So you weren't actually having you were having fun, yes, but it was fun because you were getting away from your trauma at home or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So
it was a Band-Aid.
A Band-Aid, yes. And sometimes there's people like that in our lives that we meet. Sometimes there's people that we need to meet that help us through a tough time, help us get from one side of the river to the other side of the river. And that's what that is. That's it. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's their only purpose in our journey, is to help us get to the other side of the river so we can keep moving on our journey. Sometimes we try to, and then we end up dragging the person that just helped us across the river away from the river because we need them on our journey.
That's what they're supposed to be.
And they're supposed to be out the river helping everybody else get across that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So
no, facts.
We gotta take that step back and really figure out what's going on with people and really be able to, deal with them according to the way they need to be dealt with. Because not everybody's supposed to be walking on the journey. Basically, nigga. Not everybody's supposed to be going out.
I 100% agree with that. I remember I was telling my auntie, your mom, and sis, your wife, was in your kitchen, and I was telling them, they was asking me about some chicks and stuff who I'm talking to. I'm like, yo, I used to be telling females yo, we're part of each other's journeys right now. I don't know where this is gonna go. I don't know if it's gonna go anywhere, but right now we're part of each other's journeys right now to teach each other whatever we're doing right now. And then your mom was like, dang, that's heck of me. I was like, but is it though? Or is it just factual facts on the we're part of each other's journey right now? And I see it. And I just want you to make sure you see it. So I'm not about to get too attached. I'm about to live in this moment and take what I'm supposed to take from it. And I want you to do the same thing. And it sounds crazy, but it is what it is sometimes. And sometimes that's not what it is.
I mean, yes, I feel it. Yeah, I feel it. But at the same time, that is possibly severing the future things that could happen with a person because they are also viewing it as okay, this is just a blip on the journey, so to speak. So that knowledge is good to have for like yourself personally,
Self.
but once you like, especially with females, like like they think different. Like I think we all can agree that females just think a little bit differently when they
For
hear,
sure.
certain things, like especially on that like level. That's why Mima took it the way she did, because like if you was to say that to like a nigga, not on no not on no weird shit, but if it was like, oh yeah, bro, it was dope to meet you on this part of my journey, like a nigga would be like, you right, bro, because you feel me on my journey I'm on, this is dope. But when you are talking to someone that you have a possibility of building a relationship with, I guess is the best way to say it, you want to
Right.
be able to have like the common ground is not there for somebody who won't truly understand with what you're saying, because what you're saying is deep. It's not like oh hey, yeah, this is just Tuesday and I'm going, about to go get me some tacos. Like for that, like for people that are talking or listening or in the moment of trying to build something possibly to that's it's almost I would like, mean isn't really the word. I don't know what the word is, but it's not mean. It's like, I don't know. Uh Damn, I can't think of the word. I can't think of the word. But I feel you though, because it's like I'm gonna get what you get. What you get from me is what you get from me. What I get from you is what I get from you. But at the same time, what I said before.
Yes. I got you.
um, because with what I feel like with what like because with your example, I feel like it's not doing either of the things that this is talking about specifically.
I got you.
So when you try to hang out with people that fit your future, it's people that you want to possibly like. It's like you said, what you said is right, but that, like I said, it's for you to. That's that's a positive thing to know of self. And I think
Yeah.
I don't know how deep you get in these conversations before you say what you said. You know what I mean? I don't know how
Right.
deep in this, in like to a person that you know them, but
Yeah.
being able to build your future, I guess the best way to say it is you got to keep your options open.
Yeah.
And by saying the journey can end, it doesn't keep the option open, because it's like this
I
ends
can
at
dig
some
it.
point, so the option is closed at
Yeah.
some point.
Right.
Right, right.
No, facts.
What's up, Vito? What's your take on it? What you got to say? You awfully quiet and dancy over there.
uh, I'm a I'm gonna go out on a limb just because I want to be different this time.
Oh, you're being weird. Okay, I just needed to know how the rest of this is gonna go.
No, I'm just
Well, you
playing.
got your answer.
Big facts.
I'm just playing, but nah, I definitely agree with both of y'all's explanation in this quote. But to me, this quote is more for people that try to fill the holes. Um, for me, this speaks to like a younger me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? This kind of speaks to that young minded version of myself that would try to make friends for the moment to be able to just do what I want to do when I want to do it. And I kind of feel like that's what it does for a lot of people. I feel like, this is a hole filler. Like, oh, there's a hole in the wall right there. Let me put some patch on it. You know what I mean? Like you guys kind of said, a band-aid, you know what I mean, type of deal. So when it's saying fit your future, I feel like it's kind of like how all of us kind of became brothers, you know what I'm saying, and how we kind of got in cahoots with each other of being able to kind of understand the direction that we're going in and how we're going in that direction. Um, so this quote could definitely be misconstrued because, like I said, it's kind of like one of those let's slap a band-aid on it type of thing that you could say. But at the same time, if you actually kind of look a little deeper into this post, um, you can actually say that, yeah, be around people who support you. You know what I mean? Be around people that, are real, that, aren't going to change up on you when they feel like it, or because they're having a bad day, they're going to get at you foul, or they're going to do this, or they're going to do that, or, you know what I mean? Like, get people around you in your group that, is going to actually say how they feel and why they feel the way they feel for the day. You know what I mean? So that way you could actually understand how to step around them and they could step around you. So, that's why it's important to, when you get up in the morning and you start messaging your friends, to be like, "Hey, what's up, bro? What y'all doing today?" Or, what we got going on. And rather if they lie to you or not, you still got to try to, figure out, okay, this is how we moving. So this is what we gonna do from my side of the river, so to speak. You know what I mean? So, uh, yeah, man, like put yourself in the center of this, and just really think about how, uh, what I like to always compare quotes like this to is LeBron James's little story background, however you want to put it, with him and his friends. You know what I mean? They came up as high schoolers, kids, whatever, and they never had they not that they never, because I don't know, but when they talk about the things that they talk about, they always talk about how each other was each other's, like, whole, or not whole, but fill for each other. Like, LeBron James didn't have a dad, so he had a friend that had a dad but didn't have a mom. But LeBron had a mom, you feel me? And so they went back and forth with exchanging how to grow up in life. And then they also had people in their life that was like, "Oh, y'all ain't got that. Oh, we can't. We could go do certain stuff, but we only gonna do it because, well, for one, he's a superstar and you just hang out with him, so I guess we got to be cool too." You know what I mean? And I feel like that's how we get caught in this, start hanging out with people who fit your future and not your past type of thing. Because if you really think about it, you have to meet someone in the past to be able to see where your futures are going to even end up, if they're going to end up together or separate anyway.
You have to
You
meet
know what
them in
I'm
the
saying?
present.
Well, yeah, but
So
you get what I'm saying.
yeah, but I think that's where it can get misconstrued as well at the same time, because this I because what I take away from this specifically is kind of like, do not, like, start hanging out with the people that are not traumatized. Bro, for a lack of better words, because the future you do not want to have, you don't want to be filled with the trauma that you have, and or at least you don't want it to be affecting you the way that it does, at the very least. So once again, you can't surround yourself with the filler people. It's just like, the fillers are cool. They can still be in your life for sure, but you gotta venture out and create these new connections and these new relationships and friendships with people that if you think about it like this, when we talk to each other, we are also talking to ourselves, correct?
Facts.
So the person that you deal with and the person that you talk to, you want to be able to make sure that you both are reflections of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So if you
I could dig
deal
that
with
for sure.
someone who has the loop mentality, your reflection is that of a loop.
Mm.
And that's why it's so important. And that's why people get really stuck, especially me. Personally, I get stuck trying to help everybody out of their loops because I want y'all to be able to, I want not y'all, but I want y'all as in everyone to be able to go with just go with the flow as well.
To be able to grow like I'm growing,
To be
and
able to
yeah, and
grow,
that
Mm-hmm.
and
not
yeah, and that
necessarily grow like I'm growing, but be able to grow the way that you want to grow, because you can't grow when you in the loop of anything. There is no growth in loops. There is none. There's only repeated, like it's only repeating. Like there's
Repetitively.
no,
Yep.
with growth comes change, and that's why loops do not grow, because there is no change within the loop. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
when you stop hanging out with the people of your past, once you stop doing the things that you were feeling in the place of your trauma, once you stop coping with people that are coping, because that ends up what happens. You end up surrounding yourself with other people that are hurt, other people that are in pain, other people that need to cope with what they're going through. And that's how you end up being 15 with a group full of people that are all drinking or all smoking or all doing heavy drugs, because everybody is coping with the shit they got to see, with the shit that they go through at home, with the shit that happens to them at home. And so once you start growing and then you realize that people are okay with being in their trauma loop because they're now comfortable with their trauma. That's ends up what's happening to these people. So we have to be able to find other people that are breaking out of their trauma loops, and then we get together because we already broke out of our trauma loops, and now other people see that, hey, there's 3 people right there that all broke out of their trauma loops, and all of them are together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're actually telling us how to break out of our own trauma loops. Like, bro, and you see what I'm saying? And then that's where
Yeah.
it keeps going, because now the people
Teaching
who
by
you are
action.
dealing with, exactly, they are your reflection. Take a look at yourself and make that change. You feel me? So
Change.
that's so if you
I'm
so
standing with
what
the man in the
exactly, no,
mirror.
but literally, so
You
that's what I'm
got
saying.
it.
Once you pick your reflection, that means you're asking, like, that means I'm asking Renato and Renato is asking me. We're both asking each other to change our ways for each other. DeVito is asking Renato, and Renato is asking DeVito, let's change our ways for each other. And now all 3 of us are talking to each other and asking each other, let's change our ways for each other. And now
Please stop being a hoe ass nigga.
and
Man.
now, and now that's what it is. And now we are the people who fit our future.
I feel that.
And the people from your
I
past
definitely feel that.
can grow into the people that fit your future. So I do want to go back to what you were saying with that, Vito, and be like, that's 100 for sure. But once again, I just want to that's just how I feel about the situation.
For
I feel
sure.
you, and that's what I'm
I can
saying.
dig that for sure.
I wanted to be, a little bit optimistic or
A little, my
opposing.
man said I want to be a little bit different.
Yeah, I just want to be different.
Damn.
The way you say that is just it's the different. It's like the way the different.
Just want to be different.
But yo, I like this. I like this quote. I think this
Quote's amazing.
I think even this part of the what we're doing right now is just filled with gems and knowledge for people that are in this part of
Mhm.
trying to keep their past
Mhm.
friends going
Mhm.
into their new future.
Mhm. A lot of this quote too reminds me of Shy. I know you guys haven't seen that yet, but a lot of that quote does remind me of that and how that started to go. And seeing them do their thing with that, with the way they did their thing. I can't really tell y'all because y'all gonna watch it one day. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely what it reminded me of. And the reason why I said I wanted to kind of oppose your guys' view is because I wanted it to open up a little bit more of a conversation than just me being like, oh yeah, I agree exactly with what y'all saying, because I know this quote kind of goes a little bit deeper than that.
Oh, that's true.
The quote is extremely deep.
Extremely.
Yeah, because I did that. I did that, yo. I tried to go back to like my friends from the past and kick it with them and hang out with them, and then you kind of realize like, damn, they still doing the same old shit. I don't think I want to be doing this still.
Big
Yeah.
facts.
But some of them, still do the same old shit while doing amazing shit.
Why still doing new shit?
And then it's still like, man, do I still want to be doing the same old shit while doing amazing shit, or do I just want to do amazing shit and keep going forward? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
And
a lot of
that's something that I
I've
think we hear from our
I've
parents
definitely had
a
yeah.
lot, though. You know what I mean? When they go back to a certain place, or like when my mom or when Uncle June, they go back to Stockton or something like that, and they see and they be like, well, look at that. That's Billy Joe, and Billy Joe been standing in front of that 7-Eleven for like since we was kids,
20
and he's
years.
still standing there now, and he got a walker, so he ain't standing no more. Now he's sitting, but he's still in front of the same corner store.
Man.
Like
That's
it's like,
that's
damn.
that's always been my biggest thing that I've dealt with going back like to Stockton. Like you just said, like our parents, that's always been my biggest thing too though, with like the people that I knew and the people that I kicked it with, they would be doing a lot like what Vito said. They'll be doing the same thing, but then doing some different things, but still mostly doing the same thing, still got the same mindset. And they think they're doing a lot different because they're doing a couple of things different. And then you kick it with them and you're like, I don't think I want to do this because we're still doing the same thing. Like we was doing the same thing on bikes, but now we're doing the same thing and we in cars, but we're still doing the same thing because the mindset is the
Yeah.
same. So it's like I don't want to be here. I don't want to kick with you, and just don't be offended though. But
Mm.
oh, his shit froze.
That was a hard freeze. But that's a fact, though. Don't be offended because I just don't want to do this anymore. So I'm gonna go somewhere else
Right.
and do something else. But you can still
facts.
stay here and do the same thing.
Mhm.
But that is just
Because
not
a
in
lot
the
of my
stars
folks,
for me.
a lot of my folks that I see, that I used to kick it with, I see they do, like I said, amazing shit. You know what I mean? They
Mhm.
be helping the community. They be doing all this, all this stuff, and then, but at the end of the night, or when it's the weekend time, we go right back to being children again, or kids, and in the ninth and 10th grade, and we
Yeah.
thotting around and doing the same shit. You feel me, that we was doing
Yeah.
then, and it's just like, man, yeah, I don't want to be doing this shit no more, man. This is not what I came to do. I thought we was on some real grown man growth shit. And I thought we was
For
gonna be
real.
doing, you know, I thought we was about to go to the jazz club dressed up in suits and ties, and you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying. And all of a sudden, nigga, I'm at a house party where everybody's smoking dope and doing Colombian lines, and you know what I'm saying. And we just. I ain't with that shit at all. Bro, I used to like to do this shit, but it's just ain't me no more. And I think we all, at some point in time, go through that stage in our life where we do want to experience the shit that we did as kids, as adults. And I think that's why we always be like, oh man, like, bro, got stuck in that. I want to get stuck in that too.
Yeah, bro. Definitely don't want to get stuck in that.
Not at all.
That's like watching a nigga get into quicksand and then go in and stand in the quicksand next to him. And be like, oh, damn, I'm sinking.
And now you the one calling for help instead of trying to help.
Exactly. Now y'all both just yelling.
Hollering for somebody.
Help! Help! Like, bro.
He needs some milk. Yeah, nah, bro. That's shit's for the birds, bro. That's why I'm like, that's why I like to stick to myself sometimes, but then that's why I love having y'all around, because then that allows me to not be stuck in my shell when I don't want to be. Because I know that we about to go do some grown man shit. I know we not about to just go back and be on the block or go back and be in the trap house or go back and be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying,
Right.
like, you know what I mean? Like, we
Yeah.
didn't got past that, bro. Like, we, you know what I'm saying? We want to go experience new shit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
we don't want to just be like, oh yeah, nigga, we finna get this fifth and fucking drink all night, and we just gonna keep getting fifth after fifth after fifth and not remember what we did yesterday. Like,
Yeah,
we want to be able to pour a glass of a fifth with some ice. You feel me? A
Smoke
nice
on pipes.
glass and smoke out of pipes. You feel me? Like, cigarettes is long gone, bro. Cigarettes is long gone, and it's all about being on that
My brother.
on
Welcome
that
back.
teaching hype. You feel me? Like, hold on. But
Jokes.
yeah, like, I know, and that's what I appreciate
I
about
gotta
my
grab some
life.
water real quick. My bad.
Yep, no,
Because
you
I'm
good.
freaking dying over here.
You parched?
Parched, nigga. I'm parched.
You sound like a dry motherfucker.
Damn.
Sports in the top 10. Damn, that nigga went and got that water quick.
Quick fast. Oh, damn, I'm nigga had it right there
Fast
outside
as
the door.
fuck, boy.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Yo, man, that shit was wild. What you snacking on, nigga? Damn. It's still. Yo, they chocolate covered this time though.
That's right. I got the regular ones too. Got all types of nuts and berries in this thing.
Fuck! Oh, I wasn't even gonna go there. I wasn't even gonna go there.
Hey, nuts and berries everywhere.
Nuts and berries, chocolates. You
That's
said I
right.
like them. I like them chocolate.
Doesn't everyone?
I'm glad I didn't take a sip of that water yet, bro.
I would have been out of there. Damn, I'm thirsty. Do I want some water?
Hell yeah, you want some water with all that chocolate and them nuts. So you can let them slide down. You know what I'm
No.
saying?
Nope. Nah, I'm gonna go get some water.
Just let it slide down.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, everybody got up. Yeah.
I'm still here.
Man, and they got a whole strawberry cheesecake in there I forgot about. That thing looked delicious. I went in there like, oh, I forgot about this strawberry cheesecake. Damn. Do I want to eat this right now? I was like, nah, I gotta, man, they gotta get sensual. You gotta press private time.
You gotta get sensual with the
strawberry cheesecake. Yep. I can't do that I can't do that while we on air.
I refuse to be a part of your sensuality with your cheesecake, bro.
That's why I didn't bring it. That's exactly why.
Okay, all
I
right.
refused for you to be a part.
I didn't even want to hear about it.
Well, you heard about it.
I wish I didn't.
Facts.
Well,
all right, yo.
Let's get back to these fruits and berries then.
Yeah. Hey, hey. So I know. Nah, I ain't even gonna talk about it, man, because I ain't about to get us banned off of shit.
Oh, damn. It was about to go like that?
Yes, sir.
Please don't.
Damn.
Yes, sir. But I see everybody getting removed, and yeah, I mean that's as touchy as the sexuality choice.
Well, nigga, something got flagged. One of our
one of our things got flagged.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, what, for real?
No, yeah, for real. No, for real, man.
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
I told you niggas from the jump that we was gonna have to be cautious.
Damn.
Well,
niggas was like, nope, I don't want to.
What we got up next?
You said what?
What we got up next?
Oh. All right. So we have this video also in the Grand Rising chat. Let's check it out.
Was there no volume to it? Ooh, Ayala? Oh yeah, this is deep.
You can't hear it?
Nah, let me pause this. Pause this real quick.
Oh,
it's none of your concern anymore. She was blowing. Poor Big Sean. That nigga just got thrown in the gutter. She said, I'm gonna go buy another.
That's all. Don't say poor Big Sean. They still dealing with they with each other right now. At this moment.
Are they? I thought he got with somebody else.
I believe they're with each other right now.
I don't.
They are. I do. They are a spiritual toxic relationship. Something that we need to talk about.
Do we want to talk about that?
Yes, nigga. What?
I'm just gonna say it though. Toxic. This way of how this looks feels very uncomfortable to me. I don't like being on the bottom.
Yes, you do.
I was literally about to say what? Nigga, I thought that was
thought that was your
bro.
place.
That was your
choice.
shot. I thought
I'm
that was your
a
shit.
power top, nigga, not a power bottom. Look at that.
I'm not even gonna say nothing, man.
Yeah. You're Nato's face, man.
Just please put me on the bottom so we can stop this on the street. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's not even 3 a.m. yet.
My
yo.
nigga said I thought we was equals. What happened to that? Power top.
Oh my God.
My nigga said, fuck that.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Hey, we as equals.
I apologize to anybody that's watching that. Y'all came in at the wrong time.
I definitely got side pieces that I'm not equals with.
Damn.
You're my only equal.
Wait.
Nope. Don't ask him nothing, Finito. Don't ask him anything.
Wait.
Bring up the video. Make sure the sound is on.
No.
What was the lady name? What's her name?
Hell nah. Hold the fuck.
Ayala.
Ayala. Bring up Ayala.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Hold the hell up, okay?
Ayala, man,
What
breathe.
is this nigga talking about, man?
Just let it be. Let that man.
Hell,
Him and his-
no. What do you
let
mean
him and
just
his
let it be?
beard- Let him and his beard just run free. Just
Facts.
Ayala. What was Ayala talking about?
Hey, you got one more time. I'm out of here.
We're sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but the show will have to end early tonight due to this man wilding out.
Due to these
That man that was talking. The one that said,
no,
this
bro.
man, he was talking
Don't
about
act
himself.
like everything, all your transgressions are
did.
just cleansed from the night. Hell no.
I haven't did anything in a good 10 minutes.
I knew you was gonna say that. That doesn't matter. I literally knew you was gonna say that. I was
Since
thinking
we
about
took
that you were gonna say
Since
that.
we took a water break, everything has been washed away with the water.
Nope, it was
Yep.
not holy water. It was just water.
Or ocean water.
Yeah, none of that.
All right, it was just sink water.
Look,
for me.
it was just freaking Kirkland and Aquafina.
All right.
Exactly.
What you eating? Takis? Ooh, I ain't had those in a long time.
Exactly,
I had those in a
nigga.
minute.
Yeah, I ain't had them in
Ooh.
a while.
I had to go kidnap him when I was getting water. I was like, oh yeah, bro, I might have to crunch some of these down.
Man,
little
that's
crunchy
that
crunch.
shit.
A little
I might have to
crunchy
go make
munch.
me another taco, bro. I'm hungry as shit still.
Oh, you got tacos over there?
Yeah, I made some.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had to do something, bro. We didn't have no food yesterday. Shit was wild. We didn't have no money yesterday. This shit was crazy.
What was one of those days?
Yeah, bro.
Mhm.
It was crazy yesterday. I was like, oven food it is, my guy.
Facts.
Shit. Yeah.
Oh, man,
But
so
today
I'm gonna
we
have to
got
put
some-
me out a little ad.
Damn, not the ad.
Oh, I was about to put it out, bro. If I didn't get no money
It's
today,
time
bro,
to
I
spark
was-
up the OnlyFans.
Facts.
Get them cheeks and calves out there. It's over.
Yes, sir. You know it. Give him a look.
Mhm. Nigga be like, nigga, I ain't see your hands move, but you clapping. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh. Why? Why y'all like this, man? Chill. I just be trying to chill, nigga.
The top of this nigga ad say, "I'm not a magician." How are you making these things possible?
How are we just supposed to transition into this dumb ass shit you niggas talking about into a serious ass conversation? What y'all niggas is crazy, bro.
I went 10 straight minutes though, so I should get a
No,
trophy
you
for that.
didn't, bro. What are you talking about? What type of time is you working on?
I didn't say nothing wild for a whole 10 minutes.
Bro, you're
9 minutes at least.
No. That is all incorrect. Everything you just said was wrong. you no.
Oh shit!
The nigga said for at least 10 minutes. Nigga,
I could be wrong.
Everybody wasn't even gone for 5 minutes, nigga. It wasn't even. We was not getting water for 5 minutes. It wasn't even that long. It was barely 2, if that.
Oh man,
niggas is wilding.
he started it.
No, he didn't. You started this. What do we?
Hey, what do you say? Niggas on the block stitching like Randall.
Mrs. Frizzle.
Oh.
Not the
whistle, bro. What the fuck? He gave the moan, and then he whistled like my nigga tricks.
That nigga, bro. That nigga did the whistle. That was straight out of Sanford and Son, nigga.
Yeah, not the one that he be having around his neck either. Like, nah, son, straight from the lips.
Wait, what? All right, bro. Okay. All right, bro.
What? That one wasn't even wild. I said he noticed that the whistle he had behind around his neck. The whistle came from his lips.
Bro, why are you saying?
Yeah. All right.
And the nigga got the do-rag on, looking like, yeah, bro, it's just bro, he was like, the nigga said, lips. And then he like did a little shit. Did you see the shoulder shimmy after, nigga? I was like, nigga, what the fuck is happening, bro?
Bro.
My nigga said, oh my god.
Oh, sheesh.
You niggas are wild.
My guy.
All right. Next video.
Back to our regular scheduled programming.
Let's see.
We apologize for this interruption.
I apologize for their interruption.
I don't have to come around her, so why you need a restraining order?
Because you frightened her.
Can y'all hear it?
Does that give her a right to try to manipulate the system?
No, that gives her a right to protect herself.
Yeah, but I'm not a threat.
She felt threatened. No. Your mother was afraid of you because of your inappropriate behavior.
I learned the behavior from her and my dad.
Talk to your mother.
I learned when you get mad to go off and curse people out and throw things and do stuff like that if people are doing you wrong.
How'd you learn that?
I saw you do it to Dad. And I remember one time you threw a knife at him. And it went past my face and went in the door. And Gardena, you don't remember throwing the knife at Dad?
I remember throwing the knife at the door. If I wanted to hit your dad, I would have hit him. I purposely threw it at the door. And that was 20 years ago.
And he was a child, and he learned violence and inappropriate behavior from you and his father. How does it make you feel to hear your son say you and his father taught him inappropriate expressions of anger? You don't have to justify or rationalize it. 20 years ago, he was 9. Do you understand how frightened and terrified he was? Do you get that? And now, and he couldn't take out an order of protection against you. But now you as a grown woman, when he displays what you taught him, you go get an order of protection. Tell him how it makes you feel when you hear him say, "You taught me that."
Not the eyebrow
With the
raise.
look,
I'm
though.
sorry.
With the look.
I wasn't ready for the. I wasn't ready for the eyebrow raise. That was
nigga,
vicious.
wow.
That was
he
vicious.
wild.
I just want to say that was vicious, yo. That was a vicious video that I think a lot of parents, a lot of grandparents would not be able to handle.
She couldn't even handle it.
Mm-hmm.
That old lady, you can see it all in her face that she couldn't handle. Dang, I taught my son this, and then when he did it to me, now I'm calling the police on him and stuff. But the only reason he's acting like this is because he learned it from me, and then he just took it up a notch. Because that's what a lot of things that people don't understand. You might knowingly or unknowingly teach somebody something, and they take it up a notch.
Mm-hmm. How's you feeling about that, DeVito? It looked like you got a lot to say, my G.
I'm speechless on that, bro. Damn.
You're
that
speechless?
Hurt my heart. That hurt
Damn.
My heart, that hurt my heart, G, because I just had that conversation today with my mom. I just had that conversation. She said, you know, you act just like your grandma. I said, man, I act like that because I learned it from you, nigga. I mean, you know, where else as a kid do you get it from? You know, I don't even know that lady that she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, at some point in time, she had to express that kind of attitude. But I get it. And some kids, like Renato said, unknowingly are taught that type of behavior. And for me, when I seen that kind of behavior exuberated, I was a little bit older, so no, I was about the same age as he. No, I was a little bit older. I was probably like 11 or 12 when I first seen that kind of behavior exuberated around me. But I knew to myself that wasn't the kind of behavior that I wanted to exuberate as a person already. My mom taught me at a young age how to, I guess, internalize certain things. And for that, I'll be forever thankful for, because like that young man, I could be that just like he was, you know what I'm saying? Aggressive, violent, you know, and even though I do exuberate some of those things, I only exuberate that thing when it comes to a passion of mine. You know, that I exuberate that type of behavior, and you have had to have done something inappropriate to that passion of mine for me to exuberate that type of emotion. I express it a lot to you guys that, you know, if certain shit goes down, then yeah, you know, it's, you know, it is what it is.
Right.
I'm not gonna say that all live, but you know, y'all know, and yeah, man, that hurt my heart though, because yeah, like Renato said, you could unknowingly teach people those certain type of behaviors, and then you that right there actually reverted back to when I said earlier in this chat that you could what did I say earlier? I said you could like not take responsibility because it was about putting the pieces together. I remember that part. And then I said a lot of people don't understand that when they get comfortable, that's what I said, when they get comfortable with certain people, and those people are not on that level of comfortability with them because they never exuberated that type of expression towards them, it causes that other person to react negatively to them, and that wasn't the reaction that they were looking for. So it's like I said earlier, I could be comfortable. I could have got comfortable with you and been like, "Oh, you's a punk ass bitch," you know what I mean? And then you be like, "What?" Like, and then you flip out about it. That
Mhm.
what she said exactly leads back to what I'm saying in that sense, because they got comfortable around the child that they say is their kid
Mm.
and exuberated something that he's never seen before. So yeah, Ayala was right. He was scared. He couldn't get a restraining order against her at that time of age, and protect himself from her of being scared. So now he's grown up only knowing that type of behavior. And that also leads into what Renato has said about man, because we just had this, we were talking about it earlier. My brain is almost there. Yeah.
You got it. You can do it.
uh uh it man, I don't know how to put this. It is a display of, actually, you said it. It's a display of trauma. It's the trauma. It's the trauma. That's what it is. That right there is what creates the trauma, and that just reverts right back to the shit. You know what I'm saying? That just reverts right back to it. So
Mhm.
it doesn't justify how people show their children to be, but it
Mhm.
it definitely should be something that should be talked about, because again it then leads to what you were saying about, oh, that's the family member, so we should just try to keep it cool and be like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, oh, that's our family, so we can't be telling on them, or that's all we
Yeah.
got, or you know what I mean. So that just kind of summed up everything that we've talked about this whole night.
Mhm. The
Really.
biggest thing, I think one of the biggest takeaways is that it's the learned behavior. It's the things that is some that people don't even we don't even realize we're subconsciously sowing these seeds into our children, when it's just what they see on a day-to-day, play by play, brick by brick. They see it, and we don't know what they see. And we get caught in the argument, we get caught in the anger, we get caught in the whatever. And then once we get caught in it, it's like we go down the current of anger, or to go down the current of negativity,
Yep.
and then wherever it ends, that's where it ends. Whether it goes off a waterfall and we crash down at the bottom of it, wherever it ends is where we end at once we get in it. It's really hard to get out of it. So it's 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 imperative that we don't get that there's no casualties when we fall into the current, and that's almost impossible. So it's best to just stay away from that current.
Facts.
For a lack of better words,
Yeah. My thoughts on that video is, not only does it go with anger and negativity, that goes with not dealing with situations as well. Like, I know a lot of people, they learn to basically like kind of get ran over, kind of don't express their feelings, kind of don't speak up because they seen their mama or their dad, don't speak up, and like when they're getting in arguments with the other person or with people out in the streets. And at the same, that's not good either. That's not good if you're, unknowingly or knowingly teaching your child, not to speak up for themselves and defend themselves, or to just take a lot of, abuse and just keep on going, because they don't know. They think you all right, but they don't know how messed up taking all that is making you mentally. Because they're like, oh no, mom is good, dad is good, dad still goes to work even though mom is hollering at him every day. Oh, mom still get up and cook and treats us good even though dad talks to her crazy. So if somebody talk to me crazy, maybe I should just not say nothing. And it's like, no, that's not okay. Just like it's not okay somebody talk to you crazy for you to start acting crazy. It goes both ways. And I had a conversation with somebody close to me not too long ago about that, about how they deal with day-to-day like issues in the home with like their attitude, and their child is right there watching. And I seen that they child, like, I know kids are sponges, but like that child specifically was really just mimicking everything that parent was doing. And I seen it and I was like, what the heck? No. So I'm talking to the child like, don't do that. Don't say that. Don't do that. And they're like confused, but they hear him, but they confused. And then I told the parent, like, yo, you gotta chill out. Like, your child is right there, and literally what you did, your child did like 5 minutes later, the exact same thing, and what you did was wrong. And then that person told me it was hurtful. What that person told me. That person told me like, well, it just is what it is. I'm like, what you mean it is what it is? It ain't.
So
it's
the biggest cop out.
Yeah,
So-
that's like, and it made me upset because these are people, that I know and stuff. I'm like, yo, it ain't is what it is, yo. Change.
And see-
if you don't
and
change,
see
you
that-
change for your child.
And see, that leads back to what a lot of older people say is, monkey see, monkey do, right? And then they try to throw that wrench in there and say, you see what I do, but don't do what I do.
Yeah, like this is
That's
just me.
Do
This
it.
ain't
Do
you.
as I say, not as I do.
There you go. Do as I say, not as I do. There you go. That's it right there.
They're not
and
leading by example.
And that's a problem.
Huge.
Big
That's a
problem.
problem. We cannot do that and continuously do that to our children or to ourselves. We can't. I mean, it just you cannot do that. And another thing that this leads into too is what I said a while back is, this is why we got to talk about the kind of things that we see and experience, and we got to talk about it because this is why we make choices that we make. And people fail to realize that you need to be able to understand why you or someone else has made the choice that they've made, because it ain't always gravy. It ain't always mash and gravy at all. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it could be coleslaw and hamburger meat. You know what I'm saying? Those two things just don't even really go together. Like, you know what I'm saying? It could be a burger and no bun. What is this? Type of thing. And that we gotta do better. And that's what I always say. We gotta do better as people, as a community, as the world goes. We gotta try to do better and fight against that type of behavior with other people. So yeah, I could definitely see why that would hurt your feelings as to what they told you, because it's like, bro, no.
It did. I can honestly say, I was like, damn, is you really sitting up here telling me that you're not going to control your anger, control your mouth, none of that, even though your child is literally sponging and doing exactly what you're doing, and you're not going to do it because you're like, this is just me. That's fine if you live alone by yourself.
And I've seen family members of mine have those experiences, and I've seen their kids not repeat the things that they do, and that's good. But sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not their fault though. It's really not. That is one of the things that you could say that's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? That does lie on the fault of the parent, and that I feel like is what Ayala was trying to get at and get through to that lady. Like, it's not his fault that he's exuberating this type of behavior. You have to understand that you are the reason why he exuberated this fucking behavior.
It's learned behavior.
But it doesn't end. It doesn't end there, because that dude, I don't know, man. He had this look in his eyes. That dude was like, he's like, yeah, it's your fault, so I'm about to go slap 7 more people. Like, whoa, no, it's her fault. But now where are we going after this? Like,
You know, and that's the thing about Ayala's show is that like that was just a snippet, a minute and 50 seconds that didn't really give us the full exaggerated situation. Those episodes normally be an hour long, and you know, and then those they give you they try to give that person the understanding of what they will and will not continue to incorporate in their life choices. My mom, I fucks with that show. My mom fucks with that show. I fucks with that show. That's where a lot of my wisdom comes from half the time, and that's again, Ayala is a therapist.
Yep.
She is a therapist, bro.
Yep, she's super fire. She been fire since the day she came out.
Since the day she came out, baby.
Facts.
Go talk to people, man. Talk to somebody. Go find somebody you could lean on me when you're not strong. And I'll be your friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Come on. There you go. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You
Yes,
can
indeed.
call on me, brother, when you need. Yes, sir. Come on, G. I mean, it's crazy to see how many of those singers and things from those days sang and talked about that stuff, and we still to this day suffer from the traumatization of those older people.
Yeah, but that I feel like that kind of goes with like a post that I seen of Finito's. I don't know if it was today, but I seen it today, and it was in the Grand Rising, and it was like a black and white film, and there was a little boy, and he was just that boy was giving out the facts of life and the monopoly and the matrix that we live in, and he was talking to an older guy, and he like after the older guy said a couple of things, he wouldn't let him get in another word because he would just kept hitting him like bow 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 bow, and I was like, can I talk to you? He was like, no, and that's like that movie is so old, just like a lot of the old songs, and they've been telling us the same stuff for like 50 years or more, and the masses we still not catching on, like you know, like we still like, oh my god, what they're giving us the stuff that I'm not gonna say so we don't get flagged. Like they've been doing there's something weird in it. It's been something weird in
or
it.
When we do start to catch on to it, they twist it and be like, oh no, he was a child molester. All of a sudden, my guy, come on, bro. Oh, they've been grooming these people. I think you posted that in there too. I mean that you know, all these Hollywood people have been grooming these kids to be wives.
That was crazy.
Husbands.
Like,
yeah, that was mind blowing.
I knew like
we can watch that one if y'all want to.
We can watch both of those videos that we just talked about right now.
Is they gonna flag us for the Hollywood one?
I don't think so. I don't know. hey, you know what? We gonna see.
That Hollywood one had some big names, and the facts that they were spitting was woo.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Hi, friends. So do you remember a couple years ago when Millie Bobby Brown came out and said that she had a close friendship with Drake? She shared that they texted often.
Hey, real quick, everyone thought that she was talking about Drake and Josh Drake, because remember he was going through all of that shit at the time.
Why? It's a picture of Drake.
Well, yeah, but that's just the picture that she's using for the video. You know, like that's just the picture that she's using for the video. I'm saying when she actually said the comment that she's talking about that she talks to Drake, they thought that she meant Drake Bell from Drake and Josh, because he just went down for a bunch of child stuff as well, like not too long ago. So
but I knew she wasn't talking about that.
Yeah, but that was just a little like that's just, you know, around the same time. Yeah.
Okay.
and told each other that they missed each other and talked about boys. A lot of people thought this was an innocent friendship and nothing to be concerned about, while the other half of people were rightfully concerned. And let me tell you why. History always has a funny way of repeating itself, especially when it comes to the men in Hollywood. Here's a few examples. Let's take it all the way back to 1919, old school Hollywood. One of the most celebrated movie stars of all time, Charlie Chaplin, at the age of 29, married his wife, 16-year-old Mildred Harris. That marriage only lasted for 2 years, but Charlie went on to repeat his pattern with 16-year-old Lita Gray. Lita was 6 when she met Charlie, and he began taking her out on dates when she was 12. Moving on to 1954. Sam meets 12-year-old Aretha Franklin and brings her to his hotel room. Before Aretha's father could interrupt the interaction, she said the conversation with Sam took a very inappropriate turn. In 1957, 23-year-old Jerry Lee Lewis married his 13-year-old cousin Myra Brown. She still believed in Santa. In 1959, 25-year-old Elvis Presley began dating 14-year-old Priscilla Wagner. They were married a few years later. Elvis has been reported to having a predilection to 14-year-old girls before and after his marriage to Priscilla. In 1973, married singer Marvin Gaye met and pursued 17-year-old Janice Hunter. He wrote his hit song Let's Get It On as a tribute of his lust to her. Within a year, she was pregnant with his baby. In 1975, 27-year-old Steven Tyler purchased guardianship from 16-year-old Julia Holcomb's mother. Purchased! This way he could legally take her across state lines to be a groupie in his band. Trigger warning for this next one. In 1977, very well-known director Roman Polanski drugs and R-words 13-year-old Samantha Gailey. The court gave him an opportunity to plead guilty for a lesser sentence, but instead he decided to flee the U.S. to France. He has been exiled from the U.S., but he certainly has not been exiled from Hollywood. He continues to make movies and win awards to this day. In 1993, 39-year-old Jerry Seinfeld picked up a high school student from a public park. She was 17 years old, and he proceeded to date her for the next 4 years. In 1994, 27-year-old R. Kelly married 15-year-old Alea, who he had met when she was only 12 years old. In 2014, Tyga began dating 16-year-old Kylie Jenner. He was 24 years old. While it was very obvious they were dating before her 18th birthday, after she turned 18, they became very public with their romance. This is just a handful of examples of grooming that's happening in Hollywood. This has been happening for decades, and rich and powerful men in Hollywood continue to get away with it. Let me know if you guys want a part 2. The list of groomers in Hollywood seems to be never ending.
Sheesh.
Yo, it was some people on that list, yo, that was mind-blowing for me. Oh, whoa.
It was just one
Marvin
person.
Gaye. Jeez.
Let's get it on.
Oh, man, no.
Not for the child.
Not for the
song for
child.
the child.
Bro, that
That's
shit
crazy.
wild, bro.
That's
shit wild.
crazy.
That shit
But
wild, bro.
I think that goes back to, Hollywood being so basically built upon, sex magic. And, we all know about the young ones, the little ones, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't be over here that long, you know what I'm saying? So they got a whole different thing going on, and that's just disgusting because it hasn't stopped, because nothing has stopped. Like, that video just, confirmed what I definitely believe, that none of that stuff has stopped. Like Vito said, they just, changed, they, twisted up stuff and change it so you can't recognize it, but it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. And that was crazy.
Disney.
Bow, for sure. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy thing. Hold on, Vito. Crazy thing was, so I went horseback riding, and the lady that was leading she was leading us on the trail. She could sing and she can act, and she was telling us, because I was talking to her the whole time, because she was talking to us, to the group, and I was asking her, oh, what made you get into this from singing and acting? And she was like, yo, because Hollywood was disgusting. And I was like, oh, you talking about the kid stuff? And she whipped her head back like, I was like, yeah. She was like, most people don't know. I said, oh, no, I know. She was like, and then she just went off. She was like, man, yeah, I just had to speak. She was like, because they treat the kids so bad, and they do so many sexual things to these kids, and everybody be around, and people act like people are just like grabbing and eating a donut on the weird things they do to these kids, and it's just cool with everybody. And she was like, so she couldn't stand it, so she just got out of it, and then she started just going back into what she loved, which is nature and animals, and she got that job. And that's crazy.
So let's just talk about the fact that you went horseback riding, and when was this?
I don't know when that a month ago.
Mm-hmm. When you went to the jungle, remember when you went to the jungle outside of Frisco and shit, where you went to go fuck with Caesar?
Yep.
Wow,
It was fun.
We
should definitely go horseback riding. It's fire.
I'm not doing that. Too fat.
It was fire.
I'll break that motherfucker back. Anyway, all right. Well, glad to know that you went horseback riding. That was different for me. Hey, did you have the boots and the hat on though?
You know what? I didn't have the boots and the hat on, but I wish I would have.
Bro, you was supposed to be handing out our lawn service cards while you was doing that.
My bad, Francisco. Jesus, I'm sorry.
Hey, you started that. No, my bad. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he started that.
I was on topic. I was talking about how the lady had just got out of Hollywood. I'm saying, okay. And it was about the video. I was on topic.
I'm gonna get back on topic of that. I just was so shook by the horseback riding thing. Okay, so only one person on that list really blew my mind. I knew about that everybody else. To see Drake on that list though, that was like, damn, bro. Like that just to me.
Hold on, can I pause real quick? Drake said it in his song. He said she wanna smash. He said she wanna smash the SZA. I told her I used to wait. I used to date SZA back in 2008. Drake was in his 20s. SZA was like 16 or 17 in 2008.
What song was that?
It's a feature. Hey, just she wanna says you smash, it's just space. I said, hold up, wait, I used to smash SZA back in 2008. But if you cool with it, like that song was on the radio, it was a smash. It was somebody else's song, and that was a feature. It might have been like Tigers or something.
I think that's his song.
I thought it was a feature that he did. And it was huge. It was a huge song. The song was awesome. I can't remember the song. I just remember the bar. I'm saying the bar. And then SZA came out like, okay, you guys, yeah, I used to talk to Drake. Because everybody was like, what? You used to talk to Drake? How come nobody ever knew this? And she was like, because it was before I was big. Like, it was when I was like coming up.
The truth, right away.
He's Googling.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga Vito over there like, is them whites only pies?
21 Savages. 21 Savage, Mr. Right Now? No,
yep.
Doesn't seem
I knew
right.
It was a feature.
Is that it?
It definitely was a feature, and it probably was 21 Savage. It was a feature for sure. It was Drake feature. And I think, is that the last time we heard from 21 Savage? Like the last time he had like a song out? I think it was the one with Drake, right? No?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mr. Yep. Mr. Right Now.
That definitely was the tempo. That was it for sure. Because she said she wanted to smash me to SZA weight. And I used to smash SZA back in 2008.
Damn. Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Not the LA Leakers.
Young's long, but it lame. He got friends on, got a couple spots.
That's a song. I just wanted you to know what song that was.
I never heard that song before. That's crazy.
Oh shit! Yeah, that shit slap.
Damn.
And that song was on the radio.
Sheesh. Alrighty. Well. Damn. But
yes, sir.
I hate to say it. I hate to say this. I really do hate to say this, but I got to. A lot of these 16-year-olds and 15-year-olds, especially girls, be fast, bro. And I'm not saying that gives these old ass niggas a right to be doing what they doing. But a lot of parents don't have control over their kids, and that is another problem. You know what I'm saying? Like that is an issue that again needs to be looked at, and not only just to be looked at, but that kind of leads into exactly how we are right now, like the exact state that we're in right now with these female rappers talking about what they're talking about. The only reason why we have these female rappers talking about what they talking about, like they talking about it, is because of them doing this shit when they were young. And now that they're older, they can express the shit that they were doing, just like rappers, male singers and rappers and things like that do now. You feel me? So it's like, again, a never-ending cycle of shit that happens that we don't have control over, and that needs to be expressed in that way. And I mean, like, bro, I'm flabbergasted that this man that I look to as the greatest nigga ever, like, is doing that type of shit, bro, because I definitely would not have expected for that to be a thing for him. But
My nigga's low key broken.
You see him over there? You see him? My nigga is.
I see how the famous world can turn you out. It definitely
or just
has
bring to light what's already there.
Yeah.
Let's not forget what show that nigga Drake even started on. That show is like the starting point of a lot of fuck shit. That is the domino effect of a lot of fuck shit, especially
sexuality.
within exactly, because that whole thing was the high school era of the children that we're actually talking about, and the ones that he is right now being accused of also targeting. So it, like, bruh, like, it's no, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's not surprising, but it is surprising because it's like, no, that nigga Drake was on Degrassi.
What I can say to that is, maybe because Drake was a weirdo, you know what I mean? Like maybe he couldn't get the girls that he wanted to get when he was that age, and now that he's older and he's in Hollywood, and like Finito said, maybe Hollywood didn't turn him out. Maybe it just shined on, let him be who he was. Because I personally know someone that they went to prison at a young age, a male. So they whole young, and then adult, and then young adult, and then they got out as a grown ass man. I knew this person personally, and I used to ask him, like, yo, why you like these young chicks? Because he didn't like young chicks like teenagers. He liked young chicks like 18, 19, 20, 21. And he's like, old though. And he was like, man, because I didn't like, these are the chicks that I wish I could have got, but I couldn't get them because I was in prison. Like, I seen them on TV and stuff, and you know what I'm saying, like, I didn't get to get them, but then when I got out, you know what I'm saying, they be all around. And I get them. He was like, at least they not kids. Like, they not kids, bro. They adults. They 18, 19, 21. I'm like, yeah, bro, but you're like hella old. Like, you're not in your 30s. You're not in your 40s. Nigga, you're old. Why don't you get a chick that's 35, 30 at least? He like, nah, bro, I don't really like older chicks like that. I like, little 18, 19, 20s.
And then what you're saying right now circles back to the very first thing that we started with, and that is that often trauma keeps people at the age they experienced it.
Boom.
So people just get stuck in that loop of whatever age they was in the trauma or whatever happened to them, and so on and so forth.
Facts. That was a good loop around, Finito.
Be like that, man.
Yeah, you was quick on your toes with that one.
It was right. I was like, oh shit, he showed
you
right.
fast as fuck, boy.
Fuck, boy. That was a good wraparound, yo.
That definitely was.
Yeah,
you did that on purpose, didn't you?
Hey, nah, bro. It's just what happens, man.
That wraparound was A1. He had the warm lotion in hand and everything. That wraparound.
What? See, all right, bro. This is gonna be the last video we watch, bro. And I'm out of here. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm out of here.
Wrap around.
Nah, bro. Nah, bro.
Yo, all right, look, bro. You got 27 minutes.
My nigga's on timeout.
You got 27 minutes.
I ain't gonna be in here that long. Nope. I refuse to be in here once the clock strike 3. Hell no. Hell to the no. Let's get this last video out the way.
Karl Marx?
Surely you're not a communist.
Do I have to be a communist to read Karl Marx?
Rupert. That's a valid answer. Well, if you're not a communist, what are you?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I dislike all forms of government.
But somebody must rule.
And I don't like the word rule.
Well, if we don't like the word rule, let's call it leadership.
Leadership in government is political power, and political power is an official form of antagonizing the people.
What magazine did you say he edits?
A commentary on current events.
Pardon me, but, my dear young man, politics are necessary.
Politics are rules imposed upon the people.
In this country, rules are not imposed. They are the wish of all free citizens.
Travel around a bit, then you'll see how free they are.
Yes, but you didn't let me finish.
They have every man in a straitjacket, and without a passport, he can't move a toe.
But if you'll allow me to finish...
In a free world, they violate the natural rights of every citizen.
But you don't let me fully...
They have become the weapons of political despots.
Yes, but may I...
And if you don't think as they think, you're deprived of your passport.
Will you allow me
to leave a country is like breaking out of jail.
Yes,
and to enter a country is like going through the eye of a needle.
But
am I free to travel?
Of course you're free to travel.
Only with a passport.
Will you allow me to say something?
Only with a passport. Do animals need passports?
Have you finished?
It's in Congress that in this atomic age of speed, we are shut in and shut out by passports.
If you'll shut up and let somebody else talk...
And free speech, does that exist?
No, you've got it all.
And free enterprise.
We were talking of passports.
Today it's all monopoly.
All right. Now will you...
Can I go into the automobile business and compete with the Auto Trust?
If I can get in a word...
Not a chance. Can I go into the grocery business and compete with the chain stores?
Will you shut up?
Not a chance. Monopoly is the menace of free enterprise.
That man
was... yeah, Vito, you like that?
What's that man was with the super hot fire, yo. That man was with the super hot fire. Sheesh.
Go ahead and dive in that, Vito.
Man. Nothing that nigga said was wrong, bro.
Right.
And like you said, that was all from this super old that had to been in the 30s, 40s.
Facts.
Somewhere around in there. That definitely was not 50s television because of the way they were acting. That definitely was 30s, 40s time when television first arrived. Yo. Man, if that wasn't the goddamn truth, bro, I don't know what is or not. But
1957.
57.
With the
Man.
facts of today in 57, though. Same facts.
Yeah, that's crazy that was in 57. That seemed like it was a little bit sooner. But at that, yeah, bro, that definitely is the my man had the facts, bro. He had the facts, and we can't deny that at all. At all, we can't deny that at all. There is no such thing as freedom in this state or country that we're in. And if you guys actually look at the constitutions and things like that, like, yeah, you're able to, have all these certain rights to certain things, but you do not have freedom to it all. And that's why they're called rights. It's not called freedom, it's called rights. But yeah, no, he definitely, man, I don't even have anything to say.
Hot fire,
bruh, except and this leads to what I wanted to talk about earlier, but again, we can't really touch on that because we will for sure get flagged.
What is it? Just tell us what it is, but don't go into it.
I can't, bro.
I'm so curious.
Type it in the
Okay.
Right,
I could say from the video that we watched yesterday morning before we separated. Okay. All right. Yes.
Okay.
We definitely can't talk about that.
No.
Yeah.
So, but that is exactly what that that is exactly what that leads into. That was a trap.
We can talk about that offline, but not on this line.
Yeah, not on here, yo.
They're gonna send somebody to our door.
Hey, yeah, bro, nah. I didn't even want to give a warning that we knew.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Facts, me either, bro.
But that kid was hitting all facts, yo. Everything that he said was so true, and I think it also goes into the fact that they've created ways to keep people from actually traveling certain places because they don't want to have to go and go and get a passport and go and do this and go and do that. They don't want to have to register they don't want to do any of that stuff. People want to just get their guns if they want their guns. People want to be able to just go and travel if they want to travel. And and then that's where it gets so important to hear both sides of the story at the same time to realize why is it that we are where we are, where did we come from to get to this point to where it needs to be like this, I guess you could say, you know what I mean? But then even when you go down that path, it ends at a rabbit hole. So it's a lot of times we just got to be able to.
I can tell you what did cause that.
What do you mean?
I can tell you why we are. What you just said, I have the answer to that.
Answer it.
No. Yeah.
So because of first was Civil War, and that's what caused the situation within these states, and then World War is the reason why we have the laws in place now of traveling to different countries. Because before you were able to freely do those type of things, and because of that being the thing that you were able to freely travel to wherever you wanted to be, and that's how in the World War things got funky. And so that's how the double agent shit came about, and all of that. And that's why we have those laws set in place now.
Mm-hmm. Definitely the words you said, because I feel like you was talking about something a little more. I feel like that's what you was talking about when you was saying that, but you was about to say something else.
Yeah, because I'm like, I understand like what Vito said is accurate, but I'm talking more on the aspect of like the kid, like it was like okay, it was like, oh yeah, like let's go, because the kid is just like just badgering the dude with like shit, he's just giving him shit the whole time. But in all actuality, that was bullshit. It wasn't a conversation, it wasn't a discussion, it wasn't, you know what I mean? It was just him just you know what I mean? Like there was no, because there is an like we said
We didn't
earlier, there
get
is an
we didn't
answer
get
to
his
everyone,
side.
but there
Yeah, we
was
didn't get his
no,
side
yeah,
of the story
exactly.
because he
It
kept
was
cutting him
only
off.
the
Yeah.
kid just like, oh no, this. Like you say I'm free, but if I'm free, then this should be this, and if it's not that, then it's not that. And it's like I feel like that is where so many people are getting blinded, because they don't want to look at any gray areas for one, and then they think, so it becomes everything has to be black and white, or everything has to be gray, and then no one wants to actually categorize each aspect when it needs to be categorized. It's like, okay, now we need to look through black, now we need to look through white, now we need to look through a gray lens, now we need to do the, you know what I mean? Like being able to interchange and use what you need to use in the exact time you need to use it is what true balance is. So I feel
I
like
agree.
being like that was cool and all, but at the same time it was like, damn, what were the responses to all of those questions? Like I want to go and watch that show and see what the purpose of everything was, because it of course didn't end there. um there's so much room for discussion, and that's why discussion needs to be had like almost at all times. That's just, I think that's just like the main point that I
Facts. That was, it was basically like the kid. The kid didn't make it a conversation because he felt like the conversation wasn't a conversation to be had. So that's why he never let bruh get a breath in. But which, like you saying, every conversation needs to be had. It doesn't matter if you think or you know what the response is going to be. The conversation still needs to be had, because what if that person told you one piece that you did not have in all your pieces? But he didn't know, because he's like, yo, you're about to tell me about gaming because you guys game. You're about to tell me about gaming, and then nigga, I know everything about gaming. And it's like, okay, but what if he would have told you one little thing, and then maybe that would have took your perspective somewhere else, and now you're way over here, or maybe you're everywhere when you was just like this. Which, so I agree with you, Finito, for sure. But then I also seen from that video, what I took from it was how they walked up to Lil Bruh and he was reading that book. And they instantly try to categorize him like, oh, bro, you're a, what did they say he was?
A communist.
A communist.
He's like, nah, why I gotta be a communist because I'm reading this book? To me, I took from that is how people always try to put you in a box immediately because you're not doing what they think you should be doing. Instead of they should be like, oh, what you reading and why you reading that? Instead of like, oh, you're a communist if you're reading that. You like, bro, why I gotta be a communist? Because I'm getting knowledge. And that's kind of like how the world we live in, especially this nation we live in. If you don't see it their way and go by their rules and stuff, they think you messing with other people and you here to destroy us as a nation. And it's like, why? I'm just getting knowledge that you are not giving me, even though you know it. So does this mean I'm a bad person because I'm over here reading this book that you know about and you read, but you won't let me read it, or you won't even talk about it?
Yeah, bro, that's facts, yo. It's facts. You got to be able to have those conversations open. You got to be able to keep those lines of communications open, and you got to be what's it called? You got to be able to maneuver in the gray area. Okay, for real, last video. For real, last video. I hope this one don't get us flagged.
Oh, another deep
wait,
video.
Okay, wait, no, wait. I gotta go use the restroom real quick. Hold on.
Wait, why was that funny to you?
Me? Or him? Why was it funny to me? Oh, it was funny to me because I was like, yo, it's about to get real. Wait, let me go use the bathroom first, and then I'm gonna come back. This is, that's why it was like, what's about to happen? And,
All right, bro,
that made me laugh.
Yeah, okay, go ahead and do your business, bro. All right.
It's sleepy night time. We get it, Pablo. Damn, we in the bathroom with this nigga. Alrighty.
Where did Vito go?
No idea.
I'm here. I had to be out the window real quick. I didn't feel like walking to the bathroom.
Okay, and here we go.
Welcome back. One final point before we go. First, we
One
have
final
transgender.
point before we go.
Men who identify as women, women who identify as men. They claim, the opposite gender of their birth gender because they feel they are trapped inside the wrong body. As a society, we accepted this. Then we got transracial. Rachel Dolezal, the white woman who pretended to be black and even led a chapter of the NAACP until she was exposed and thrown out, she claimed she wasn't pretending to be black. She is black because she feels black. She's a black woman trapped in a white woman's body. She's transracial, she says. As a society, we accepted this for the most part, except some liberals who claimed transracial is a thing, but Rachel Dolezal doesn't qualify because she's an imposter and a liar, and imposters and liars aren't entitled to their feelings or their identity. There's more. After transgender and transracial, we got transabled. Yeah, this one's really messed up. Physically healthy people who feel they should have been born disabled. A man in Great Britain cut off his arm because he felt like an amputee. A woman in North Carolina poured drain cleaner in her eyes because she felt blind. Transgender, transracial, transabled. Guess what's next? A grown man posting an ad on Craigslist wanting a nanny because he identifies as a baby. You can't make this stuff up. Ridiculous? Perhaps, but who's to say anymore if that's how he feels? If a man can be a woman because he feels like one, if a white person can be a black person because she feels like one, if a healthy person can mutilate herself because she feels disabled, if a grown man can be a baby because he feels infantile, where does this end? Can a child be an adult because she feels like a grown-up? Can a teenager buy alcohol because he identifies as over 21 years of age? Can a grown man attend kindergarten because he identifies as a 6-year-old girl? Can a child spend the day at doggy daycare instead of school because the child feels like a canine? If not, why not? If a kid can be transgender because he feels like a girl, who are we to tell a child he must attend school or obey his parents or refuse him a beer when he orders one? You can't have it both ways. If children have a right to parents providing for them, and a man identifies as a child because he feels he is a child trapped in an adult body, and if we're playing by these twisted, disordered, ridiculous rules where illusion and emotions trump objective truth, aren't we violating his rights by refusing him the love and care and financial support every child deserves? Just something for liberals to think about before they push the boundaries of identity politics past the point of no return. When you sacrifice objectivity and reality like transgender, transracial, transabled, transspecies, transaged, you get cultural absurdity. And we promise to cover it every step of the way because it has only just begun. And that's my final point tonight. You can reach me on Twitter at Liz_Wheeler. If you liked the show, please send me an email at OANN.
I'm sending her an email right now. We need her to be a guest here today, right here, right now.
Facts, though.
I'm not gonna say shit because I'm not about to get flagged.
Facts, though.
She said everything I wanted to say. If she don't get flagged, I'm not getting flagged either. So, hey, she said it. Take her shit down.
For real though, because she definitely covered a lot of the topics that we have talked about, and I think we've even talked about the transracial dude that was a white dude that turned Oriental or Asian or something along the lines of that.
We talked about that one. We talked about
and then
the one
we
about
talked
the guy
about
that wanted to be a little girl.
Yep.
Yeah.
That got adopted.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah! Oh shit! I fucking forgot that happened. That nigga did get adopted. What the fuck is going on?
Man.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Big facts. And then I think this all goes to as well the fucking ridiculous and disrespectfulness that they showed to female athletes with allowing the trans women, I guess that's what I think that's the correct terminology, the trans women to actually be fighting and competing against women, like women that's
biologically
women.
Fallopian
Like
tubes.
bruh, like it's just so I don't yeah.
It's insane.
Don't
It's
flag
okay.
me. I'm trying so
it.
hard.
I'll say it. It's insane. It's insane, yo. That's insane. That's like, I feel like we did one where it was like a grown man. He was like a Marine for like 15 years, and then he just wanted to be a college student, a female college student, and he played basketball. And he was like wrecking the college students because, for one, he's a grown man that was in the military, and for two, he's playing against college girls. So he's just posting them up. They can't do nothing with him. And it's like, okay.
And then the female that we saw, the dude
How's
that's a
this?
female that beat up the UFC fighter. That was a freaking The Rock as a man. And then when they actually look like a woman, but it was just like, Jesus, yo, like you still got all the muscle and body mass of a man, and you are punching like you're like, yo, like there's no match for that. Like, I'm sorry, there's no
match. That's just like the track thing too. The trans woman was running track, and it's like, that's so unfair because literally, not being sexist, straight science, men muscles are bigger than women's. If there's no working out going on, so you got a man racing women, and their times aren't even close. Like, women times in track and men times in track for 100 meters and 200 meters aren't even close to each other's. Yeah. So it's like, of course, what's about to happen? This trans woman is about to just smash everybody. No one's ever going to have a chance because that's basically a man that runs track coming to the female side.
Yo, can you imagine Usain Bolt getting a sex change and then coming back and then winning the fastest woman alive trophy? Like, bro, that's
right now with his old ass.
That's just disrespectful, bro. Come on, there's no other way to look at it. Like, talk about there's no respect for, like, remember that's what they did with the Jenner, the dad, the mom. They gave him Woman of the Year or whatever, and it was like, bro, what? So just fuck all these other the biological women. Like, we're just not going You're not going to actually give a biological woman the Woman of the Year award. Like,
Nope.
they could have made a Trans Woman of the Year award. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
like,
they definitely could have did
that's
that.
what I feel, and I feel like that should be something. Is the Trans Olympics or the Trans UFC or the Trans BA, like the Trans
That's
NBA
very
or
smart.
something, like, because
That's smart.
like you can't. It's I don't know, bro. It's just not right. And I don't want to. I'm not gonna go in too much farther because I feel like we right on the cusp of getting flagged, banned, and kicked out for YouTube. We like right on the cusp.
They about to do us like they did Kevin Hart, bro.
Yeah, facts. That shit is not right though. It's insane because it's not even just right about.
But at least we know famous people is watching. So shout out to y'all.
For real, man.
That's an accomplishment in my book. Shit.
Yeah.
But
that's crazy though.
Yeah, man. It's been a lot of good conversations, a lot of good topics. I feel like tonight we've discussed a lot of things, a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I really like the whole, going through our Grand Rising group and picking, and like just going off of the different things that have been in there from just all the different, because I don't like, there was a lot of different, like all that stuff wasn't just like I posted it or just Renato posted it. It was a variety of stuff from people that have posted in Grand Rising. So it was just dope to, kind of see where everyone else's mind is at and then give our own opinions about shit too and so on and so forth. I had a good time tonight with everyone that was watching and my brothers, as we always do. Brothers 3, we always have a good time vibing.
Yes,
y'all niggas was wilding tonight. I'm definitely about to get out this bitch and go to sleep. I'm not talking to y'all until 5 o'clock tomorrow. Chat's on mute.
We have things to talk about after this live. Hold on. What?
Nope.
We can't debrief.
He said he's out of here. He said Buzz Lightyear.
We can't debrief, bro. Damn.
Nah, this is the debrief right now. All right, holla.
Whoa.
Big breezy.
Yeah.
He said he's gone.
Gonzo. Mm-hmm. But all right, thanks for everybody tuning in on whatever platform you watching on. Make sure you drop a like, make sure you drop a share. We in this bitch, and we'll holla at y'all.
Hey, hit that noti button. Hey, hit that
on
noti
the
button.
next
Hey,
episode.
hit the noti button. Hey, noti gang, noti gang.
You see him?
Alrighty. I'm sorry you guys had to see that.
I'm not.